Welcome to the Landlords Workshop. I'm your host Ray, and today we're going to dive into a topic that many of you asked about: tips for first-time landlord. Whether you have just bought your first rental property or you're thinking about getting into a landlord game, this episode is perfect for you. It will provide you tips and advice to help you succeed with common mistakes that you don't have to make. Before we jump into all of that, if you are new to the show, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We talk everything from property management to how to do maintenance and how to deal with tenants. So we share very valuable tips. So you are in the right place. I want to congratulate you in buying your first rental property. Whether it's a single family home or a condo or even a multi-unit building, you have taken the leap into real estate. And that's a big deal. But now comes the real question. What do you do next? First thing is to know your legal responsibility. Being a landlord isn't just about collecting rent. You have legal obligation to your tenants. And understanding these responsibilities is key to being a successful landlord. You need to familiarize yourself with landlord-tenant laws in the state or region that the house is located, as they vary widely. This includes things like security deposit limits, eviction procedures, and tenants' rights. For example, do you know that in some places, landlords are required to provide a habitable living space? That means things like plumbing, heating, and even working smoke detectors. Ignoring these basics can lead to fines or even worse, legal action. A good resource is your local housing authority or an attorney who specializes in landlord and tenant law. I know it might sound like a hassle, but it's worth taking the time to get it right the first time. Now that you have got the legal stuff squared away, let's talk about finding the right tenant. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I started was rushing into renting out my property to the first person who applied. It seems like the quickest way to get things moving, but trust me, this can cause a lot of problems down the road. You need to take your time screening tenants. This means running a background checks, credit checks, and verifying employment. It might sound like overkill, but you really want to ensure your tenant will pay the rent on time, take care of your property, and follow the terms of the lease. One tip that helped me was creating a comprehensive application. From that, ask for all the necessary information up front. That way, you have everything in writing and you compare multiple applicants more easily. Also, don't skip the reference check. A call to previous landlord can provide valuable insight into how a potential tenant behaves. Let me share a personal story with you. Once a tenant was interested to the apartment. Everything checked out. But when I sent the application, the tenant left the application blank. Well, most of it was blank. So when I questioned that to the tenant, you know what the tenant said? The tenant was rude, didn't want to share that information with me. That's fine. I'm not forcing anybody to share their information. But that was a telltale sign for me. This individual might be a problem. So I had to decline the application. And this is important. Always trust your gut. If something feels off about a tenant, even if everything else checks out, it's better to wait for someone else who feels like better fit. Next up, setting the right rental price. I can't tell you how many landlords make the mistake of either pricing their rental property too high or too low. It's a balancing act that can be tricky, but it's crucial for your long-term success. You want to attract quality tenants, but you also want to make sure your investment is profitable. To get an accurate idea of what you should be charging, start by researching similar rental properties in your area. Look at listing or properties with similar size, condition, and location. You can use websites like Zillow, Redfin, or Realtor to get an idea of what the going rate is in your neighborhood. It's tempting to go with higher price, especially you think your property is in great shape. But remember, you don't want your property sitting vacant for months because you rent too high. And on the flip side, if you set your price too low, you could be leaving money on the table. Let's move on to a big one, which is property maintenance. As a landlord, you are responsible for keeping the property in good condition. Regular maintenance is key to keeping your tenants happy and preventing costly repair down the road. Create a schedule for things like HVAC service, plumbing inspection, and checking the roof. It's easy and cheap to fix minor issues before they turn into major problem. But what about tenants have issues in between inspection? Communication is key here. Be clear about how tenants should report issues and how quickly they can expect you to address them. And make sure you respond promptly, even if it's just an acknowledgement that you have received their message and working on a solution. One strategy that I have used is setting up simple online system for tenants to submit maintenance requests. It helps keep everyone organized and gives tenant an easy way to communicate with you. Plus, it makes me look professional, which is always a good thing. Now, let's talk about the lease agreement. Silent lease is one of your best protection as a landlord. Make sure your lease outlines everything clearly: rent amount, due date, security deposit, late fees, maintenance responsibilities, and the consequences of breaking the lease. A good lease agreement should include details about property use. For example, whether tenant can have pets or sublet the unit. If you are not sure about what should be included, it's always a good idea to have your lawyer review your lease before you use it with your tenant. I know it might feel like an extra step, but it's worth the investment to ensure you're legally covered. The world of real estate and property management is always changing, whether it's new law, maintenance best practice, or market trend. It's important to stay informed. Consider joining a local landlord association, or subscribe to a real estate newsletter, or subscribe to a channel like this one. There are also plenty of podcasts and online resources to help you grow your knowledge. And don't forget to stay organized. I personally recommend using property management software or app to track rent payment, lease dates, and maintenance requests. It can save you a lot of time and stress in the long run. All right, that's it for today's episode of the Landlords Workshop. I hope these tips help you feel more confident as you step into the role of a landlord. Remember, it's all about setting clear expectation, staying on top of maintenance, and being proactive about legal responsibilities. And most importantly, make sure you provide great experience for your tenants. Remember, happy tenants are long-term tenants. If you like today's video, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions or concern or want to add more to landlord tips, don't forget to leave a comment. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you in the next episode.